Welcome to JCE Connect. In the previous class, we were discussing about the physical properties. So, in that, we have discussed four main constituents. The first one that is uh, the uh, color. First one is color. First one is color. Second one is odor. The third one is solids, and the fourth one is temperature. We already discussed that how the temperature is going to affect um, for the aquatic life. So next we'll move on to the chemical constituents. So the first one, that is, if I say it is a chemical constituents, the main sources are domestic, commercial and industrial waste. So when I say it is a commercial, some of the commercial activities like small scale industries, some of the hotels, like that. If any commercial activity is happening, if any wastewater is coming from that activities, then it will be categorized in that activities. So some of the first one, that is, um, will broadly classify into two this chemical characteristics: organic and the inorganic. So if I say it is organic, we can classify into the main organic and inorganic. So if I say it is organic, it is carbon compound. So inorganic, it is uh, normally it is does not contain any C in their uh, structure. So this will not be there. So here the carbon content will be there. So if you say it is the first one, that is a carbohydrate. Of course, this is a very important component in all our food cycles. Um, Many of our foods consist of carbohydrates, and it is a very important for our health also. So this consists of carbon chain in their structure. Uh, we can say up to some extent we require carbohydrates, but it should not be not more than, like, some limit is there. Above that, it is not required. It is considered as a pollutant. So whichever the things you take it up to some extent, it is good for our health. But after that, it is very difficult uh, for to digest if more percentage of carbohydrates are there in the foods. So that is why more carbohydrates are also uh, dangerous. To some extent, it is okay. Then fats, oils, grease. The fats are required for our body. To some extent, it is required. Oil is required. So then grease, up to grease, it is a pollutant which is not required. But if I say overall these are above that, above the limit, we consider it as a pollutant. Then these are all the chemical characteristics. Second one, that is fats, oils and grease. So if you see the sources of these fats, oils, it is the first one: domestic, commercial and industrial waste. So then we'll move on to the pesticides. Of course, if you see any of the IS standards, WHO standards and ICMR standards, what it will say that it has its own limit. If you see the pesticides, so it is can say always the permissible limit is in terms of sometimes it is nanogram per liters. Means this much 0.1 nanogram per liter or 1 nanogram per liter units will be there. It depends on kind of the pesticides. Sometimes some pesticides are there, it is relaxable up to microgram per liters. microgram per liters. Up to it is permissible based on their toxic effect on to the environment as well as the human life. So if I speaking about the pesticides are always you can say the agriculture wastes or the agriculture activities, the main source. If I say overall in the world, so 70 to 80% of the pesticides are going to join to the sewers or the water bodies is due to the agriculture activities. Why? Because we are using many kinds of pesticides. If you categorize all pesticides, starting with the insecticides, then herbicides, then fungicides, then rodenticides, then molluscides. So of course these are five categories. In that, the maximum we are using these two. Of course, based on the type of um, crop we are growing, and of course this herbicides are used to kill the weeds that are present in the farmlands. If I say it's a weeds, it is weeds nothing but it is unwanted plant that are present in the farmland. So of course, these unwanted plants are reduce the yield of the main crop. So then insecticides are, of course, these are also going to reduce the crop yield. But different types of insects are there. If you want to kill the different types of insects, we have to use different kinds of insecticides. If any fungal infections are going to happen for the plants, then that can be killed by the fungicides. Then rodenticides, if any of the rodents it will be there, that can be killed by the rodenticides in the farm land and in your houses also. So then next come to the phenols. The phenols are the main sources of the industrial waste. Of course, you won't get any from any of the agricultural activities, but the phenols, the main sources are the industrial wastes. Means, if you see any organic compound, uh, the phenol, that phenol means it is a OH. If you see the structure of this, so it consists of OH. So almost all the organic compounds that consist of the phenols. Phenol is the most important component for most of the pharmaceuticals and some of the the floor cleaning materials. If you want to prepare it, you have to use the phenols. So then again proteins. Uh, we can say some of the proteins as compared to the carbohydrates. Proteins are also very important for our health, but not more than the permissible limits. So if the proteins are more also, then the um, pollution is going to happen. Then it is considered as a pollutant in the domestic, commercial as well as the industrial wastes. Then third one is that is a priority of the pollutants. If I say it is a priority of the pollutants, if you take the example of paracetamol, you all know this. I can say the paracetamol itself is an pollutant if it is in excess. It is a one priority pollutant. Why? Because if you take an 500 milligram of paracetamol, normally this whole 500 will not be utilized by your body. So roughly it will be around utilization will be up to 200 to 300 milligram. Remaining 200 milligrams, it will directly enter into the sewage through your human feces. So then once for each persons, if you are releasing 200 milligram of paracetamol and sewage, the load of this paracetamol onto the sewage is gone increasing as the day progresses. So then once this paracetamol enters into the sewage, some of the biological process or the biological activities or some of the microbes, useful microbes that are required for the treatment of sewage are going to die. So then if these good or useful microbes are going to die, it is very difficult for the treatment process. Then surfactants, of course, it is the soap-based materials which are also dangerous. Suppose if soap, if you are washing your clothes, if any of the wastewater which is coming from the washing of any of the clothes, that will be considered as the surfactants. So then some of the volatile organic compounds, especially from the refinery industries, oil refinery industries. So oil refinery industries are considered as some of the major um, sources of this volatile organic compounds. Maybe in the next class we'll discuss what are these volatile organic compounds. Namely, we will highlight it and we will see. Thank you. And the other class, next class also will discuss the which are the inorganic compounds. Thank you.